it.
Well, that's why we were checking them out to see if we found some better ones and so on.
And this one I really liked because it was an hour and 45 minutes, which sounds a little long if it's something that you're not going to like.
Right.
It's hard to get through something that long. But since there were 8 of these, it went very quickly.
Yeah.
They were all real short and went quick enough.
Got to the point.
Where if it was stupid or lame or Kevin Smith, it got over with really fast.
Okay.
Yeah. So overall, I did like it. I really did. Yeah.
Okay. Let's do our garbage in, garbage out.
All right.
All right. Fast, Cheap, and Out of Control.
Yes. That's a documentary I picked up at the library.
A weird document. Like I said, 4 things. So you've got a lion tamer, which isn't PC anymore. I'm surprised. Well, this was done a few years ago. So there was a doctor from MIT that's doing robotics. And it was edited together in just the oddest way. And I kept waiting for them to overlap the stories in some way to be tied into each other, and it just never got there.
Okay, let me read this real quick.
All right.
Because it's really hard to... This is what I found at the library, and I read the back of the box, and I was like, this sounds really cool, so I picked it up for us. I thought it would be super fun to watch.
Right.
Filmmaker Errol Morris of the Thin Blue Line interviews 4 eccentrics, a wild animal trainer, a topiary gardener, a robot designer, and an expert on the naked mole rat to examine the narrow boundary that separates madness from sheer genius. This fascinating documentary combines commentary with old movies, cartoons, and stock footage to paint a compelling kaleidoscope portrait of these 4 obsessed individuals.
Is that it? They were supposed to be obsessed?
And then it went on to say, like, some of the reviews from, like, magazines and from some of the festivals were, like, weird and wonderful and all of this. So I was like, this totally sounds like it's up our alley. Like, it sounds weird and fun, but, like, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
For me, it wasn't.
Oh, well, okay. For me, it was. I enjoyed it. I really liked it.
Well, like you said,
but
it really...
Were you distracted by the thing that you were waiting for them to come together in some way?
Well...
See, I didn't get it until you read it just now, where you said that this documentary...
a kaleidoscope is a great... by the way, that is a great way to describe it, a kaleidoscope.
Yeah. Portrait of these 4 obsessed individuals. I didn't get that out of them. You know,
they were obsessed with their...
they
I thought they were going to be more eccentric or more interesting or... Not that they weren't interesting, but they weren't as wacky and wonderful as all of the people described it. And why is it called Fast, Cheap, and Out of Control?
Well, they were talking about the robots, the type of robots that they would be using to investigate Mars or the spacecraft and stuff.
Yeah, the robot designer said something about that. But so they took that and named the whole documentary that?
Yeah. So I think if you watch if you watch documentaries or enjoy those type of things, watch it, understand that these stories aren't going to be pulled together.
Yeah,
maybe
I
you would
love
enjoy it more.
And like this was just womp womp.
See, I liked it better than that. All right.
Well, that's good.
Okay. Well,
I don't know. Well, it was too all over the place. I think for my poor logical brain.
Okay.
Because there's 4.
Yeah.
It would show they weren't interviewing them. They weren't asking. You didn't hear the questions. It was just them saying random stuff. And then, like it said, with the stock footage and little bits of cartoons, and then it would show bits of them at their work, and they were overlapping in a way where, like, they'd be talking to the robot guy, and he'd be discussing the way a robot or something moves, but they'd be showing the lion trainers world at the circus. They'd show tightrope walkers or women on the back of animals while the robot guy was talking about his robot stuff, or like they overlap. They took comments from some of them and put them with footage from one of the other guys. Like it was just too jumbled. It was too jumbled and chaotic for me.
Okay.
I was like, what are we doing here? Like it just I wanted it to be over.
Okay. Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
I was entertained, and I was...
I think I would enjoy a documentary on individuals.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, probably all of them except for, I'm sorry, the animal trainer. That was a little rough.
Okay.
Because they were showing him he's retired now. Right. And I'm happy
to now that they're pulled out of the circuses and you can't use animals.
But like you really got a close up look of the lions and stuff, and man, those were some unhappy, ragged animals with their teeth all removed and burned hair around their heads from jumping through fire and stuff. It was that part was a little rough to look at. Okay. He was interesting to hear the reasons why he wanted to be an animal trainer and like his childhood and what made him.
Well, so it was a different time and stuff.
Absolutely.
Too. I'm going to just, so we don't go on forever about this, I will say we finally got to see where Aslan wound up.
Yeah. Aslan from the first Narnia movie.
Yeah, he wound up out in Hesperia.
Yeah, out by my sister's house, there's a zoo that has retired animals. Because we're 20 miles from Hollywood, you know. But yes, we saw Aslan there.
Yeah. So moving on to movies that we consume. His name's not Aslan,
by the way.
That's true. Colossus. What did you think about?
Oh, Anne Hathaway. How I love you. I was just happy to see her. It was very strange.
It was very strange, and it's one of those movies with an identity crisis.
Yes.
The way it was marketed initially looked like a comedy.
Yeah.
Young girl controlling a kaiju, controlling a monster in Korea.
Giant,
And it's so... But the story turned dark.
It's not funny at all.
Yeah, the story turned dark. And I guess, as you told me, people were upset about her being an alcoholic.
Yeah, it didn't... a lot of people gave it really bad ratings and just...
That, to me, was like part of the story. So how are you going to be mad about that?
Yeah.
But by the same token, if you were
what else could
misled
you do? That was the least of that movie's
identity crisis
weird
and
things. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a tough one. So if anybody else has seen that, let us know.
Yeah. I mean, and it went even because like alcoholism was an issue in it, but there was bigger issues.
Yes, there were other issues, other
jealousy and self-loathing, and there were
misogynistic things.
I don't know what was going on. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, so is all of this a metaphor? Like, I don't know.
Okay.
I'd like to talk to the one that wrote that one.
Definitely.
I could use some insight.
I jotted down Harold and Maude. We've talked about that on the podcast before. I love that movie.
That again.
And it just, you know what? I think of it as a happy movie.
Yeah.
I do. It cheers me up when I see it.
Good.
Yeah.
It should. It's supposed to.
Yeah.
It was one of the first dark comedies that I ever watched, I guess.
Okay.
I don't want to say a child. I was probably a teenager.
Yeah, because it came out 77, some late 70s or whatever. But
yeah, not everybody gets it.
Yeah.
And I remember just loving it, and I still love it now. Yeah, it has a real. Well, there's something that happens in there that I will never understand. And I don't want to give it away, but overall, it has a really great message.
I'm wondering what you're talking about, but I think it's okay.
That
I gotcha. All right. Well,
I don't get that. I will never get that part. I'll just have to be mad at one of the characters until the day I die. But it's a great movie. It's a great movie.
All right, moving right along. We finally got to see Stranger Things, the first season. I know there's second season just came out or whatever, but they finally put it out in a consumable format for us. I know it's been streaming and Netflix has kind of held it back or kept it for a little bit.
Yeah.
It was out this Christmas, is out this Christmas for purchase, but oh my gosh, I could have watched 13 episodes, 23 episodes. I'm very sad that it was so short. It was only 8 episodes.
It was super short.
But yes, I enjoyed it immensely. Yeah. I can't wait to eventually get to see season 2.
Yeah.
It's right up our alley. I think we've rambled on probably about this enough, and it doesn't matter.
Well,
we're going long. It doesn't matter.
We're heading into Crawling Chaos, and we both admitted to each other before we started that neither of us has anything. so if you think that video I was watching yesterday is good enough, we can talk about that and leave a link in the show notes.
It's fine with me. It's topical. It has to do with the holidays.
Okay, well.
It's fascinating to me, so I'm just going to say you came across the fact that there's a Santa school.
Yeah.
There's actually, in Michigan, no less, Midland, Michigan, you could actually go to a Santa school. I never knew there were such cool things in Michigan, because Michigan sucked when I was there. It still does, but anyhow.
You lived in a very small part of it, I guess.
I lived in
Isolated.
a very small town. I love, okay. Let me drop my baggage here. Oh, so anyhow, I was going to say, I don't know. So anyhow, it was just entertaining. I know you love Christmas. I don't love Christmas. You know?
I love Santa, though.
You love Santa. Okay, you love Santa.
I love aspects of Christmas.
Okay, and
yeah,
I think I've talked about on podcast, I grew up not celebrating Christmas for whatever reason, blah, blah, blah. Actually, that reminds me, maybe we should put our one and only Christmas special up that I did. That's the one I did while you were gone. I was all by myself. I planned on drinking and smoking cigars, and you were out at your sister's. I had to work that day. This is the first Christmas Eve that I've had off.
Yeah. That was the last time. That was the one time I went without you, and I was like, I'm never doing this ever again. And I guess you've got me thinking now, do I love Christmas or do I hate it?
I don't know.
Both.
Okay. It's a complex holiday.
Oh, man, it's a rough one.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. Come November, it's just like, oh, no.
But you make me listen to Christmas carols starting then.
I love Christmas music.
See, I hate Christmas music. I hate Christmas music because, for a number of reasons, it's all negative associations for me not being raised celebrating Christmas.
You don't have any of the nostalgic things.
Exactly.
So.
And when I worked in the back room at Ross unpacking those trucks, they had flipping Christmas carols, 4-hour tape of Christmas carols that I had to listen to twice, and there's only 12 Christmas songs sung by 3 people over and over. It drives me nuts.
Well, that would drive anyone nuts.
Yeah, well, that's maybe what it did it for me. But anyhow, but having said that,
And your favorite song on the radio at the holidays that comes on is Paul McCartney's Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time.
Having said that, there are a few that I do like.
I just had to put that in there because you sound like such a Grinch.
I like there's a couple of the Christmas Bells song and the Charlie Brown Christmas stuff.
I was going to say we like all the Christmas specials, and you put on Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas the other night. I didn't ask you to do that. You put that on yourself.
No, I figured that was good. We watched Elf again. We watched Just Friends. That's technically not a Christmas. Is it Christmas? I don't know.
Well,
we're rambling on and on at this point.
Palomino Christmas.
Again.
Yeah. So, I think we're in agreement. Christmas can be a flippin' nightmare. There are things to absolutely loathe.
But there's a Santa school. That's what we were talking about.
That's right.
There's a Santa school. There's a place to go. So what I was going to say about that was, despite my being a curmudgeon and hating Christmas, I wore a Santa costume for another job.
Yes, you did. When you were a pharmacy tech. How did you get to be Santa?
I fit the suit, I guess. I don't know.
You're a right jolly old elf.
So, and I took my juggling balls out and I walked around. But here's what the weird thing was.
Santa?
Yes, was it's so weird dressed up as Santa and everybody loves you.
Yeah.
That is so weird to me. I love masks. I love performing. I love those. Yeah. But so me dressing up as Santa and having hated it so much and so on and so forth. Not hated it. It doesn't have the nostalgia. There's a lot of negativity. Anyhow, back to the point.
You don't like it any better hanging out with me all these years?
Absolutely. You know what you have me excited about?
Look at our living room.
We have me excited about New Year's. That's the thing that I really am
That's
excited
my
about.
holiday.
Yeah.
New Year's is and that gets me through Christmas, through the bad parts of Christmas.
Is looking forward to
I love New Year's. Yep. This week I'll be sitting down with my...
Sorry, guys. We're going on just about nothing at this point.
This is like the worst crawling camp ever.
This is worst ever and stuff. There's a link